All right, welcome, DC podcast number 4, talking about the repopulation. Today we got Nyrus with us. How you doing, Nyrus?
What's going on, Wolf?
Not much. And we got Kiri, right? Kiri, also a DC member. No camera at the moment. How are you doing today?
Really happy. I just woke up not long ago and TeamSpeak had people in it, so.
Oh, great. Okay, well, first of all, happy 4th of July if anyone celebrates it, or happy day off. And
yes, day off.
Day off. It's unfortunate it landed on a Thursday, but you know, because now some people will have to take off Friday to get a full weekend. But let's see. End of June update came out, so we're probably going to talk a little bit about that. We got some. I really especially like how they kick out this information. It's like patch notes, and you can get little tidbits of information from there. It kind of reminds me of like when you're actually playing a game. Even though I'm not playing the game, it still makes me feel like it, and it gives you an idea of their progress as well as you know, what the game might be like. And I just grabbed little bitsy pieces from it. And if you get on the screen there, I got one of the comments that they made in there was they got many new combat animations. And one of them is female animations receive special attention. So anyone can speculate what that possibly means.
That could be a number of things.
Yes.
I think last I recall that would have been a lot of certain enlargements.
Like a extended slider bar?
Oh yeah.
But
They said animations, right? So
yeah.
maybe the dance got some love.
Yeah, many new combat animations, and they specifically said combat animations.
Oh, okay.
And female animations receive special attention. Now, what is that, like a sports bra or something like that? Any comments on that, Kiri?
If they just specified animations without saying what kind of animations, I'm gonna go with the dance animations.
The dance animation. Okay, I'll go with that. And
Point as far as we go, because never playing a female character, I never really paid attention to.
I haven't played a female character in years either.
you know, I've always a lot of people. It was always taboo back in the day when I was in the older days, you know, because you didn't want to do that because you didn't want to give people the wrong impressions. But apparently, a lot of people do that. Guys, I mean, they play females. Some say it's because they want to look at something pleasing. I know for a fact that a long time ago when people did that is because guys were dominant gamers, or at least that's the perception, and girls didn't play that much. And I know that may not be true, but that's what us guys believed. And when we seen a female, regardless if we thought it was a real female or not, we felt that we had to protect her. You know, that whole male nature thing kicked in. So basically we started giving them stuff. And I think some guys caught on to that, so they played a female tune and they start getting all the free stuff. Anybody, you ever experienced that, Nyrus? Ever play a female tune?
You know what, now that I think about it, I did play one in Ultima Online, and I named it after my wife. And I went around. What I used it for was
a mule?
No. At first I did. Then I wanted to test out. They switched over to do a new. If you PvP'd and went red, you had to do a certain amount of time to get back to being gray, then back to blue. So there was some type of a timer that was on it. So I would just use her to go out and just constantly kill people with it until I was stay online long enough to knock the timer down so I can be back to gray. But that's all I used it for, actually, was just running around killing with it.
Did you find that that people treated you differently when you play your male or your main?
No, not really.
Really?
No, back then it was, especially when you rolled up on someone quick and killed them, they were pissed off no matter what sex you were.
That's true. Now, Kyria, I bet you, has a different opinion, because it probably wasn't all rosy and happiness or trying to take advantage. She was probably just trying to play a game. Because I remember a long time ago, my first name is actually can be considered a female name, and on AOL, back when AOL started, I actually used that name, and I had all these guys saying, "Hey, come chat with me, come chat with me. What are you doing? What are you wearing?" That kind of stuff. And I'm like, "Hey, I'm a dude." So, Kiri, when you played a female toon, did you actually get a lot of propositions, or felt like people were trying to bug you or know you're female?
It's more like they were patronizing me, actually.
Yeah.
Not so much that they wanted the so-called female attention, and perhaps because I didn't play so many hardcore MMOs, no subscription-based ones, but they would just kind of assume that I wasn't as good at the game, or that I wanted the help even when I didn't want it, or that I wasn't capable of helping them. Things like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that seems to be, it's just that whole male-female thing. But it seems to me that recently there's a lot of female gamers, a lot coming out. They got groups out there like "I'm a female gamer," in your face, and that kind of a thing. So maybe it won't. I suspect no game can overcome the mental thinking of boys and men. But since it's more normal now to have the thought of females being in game, hopefully it won't be like that for you all the time.
They're not helping, all those groups, all those people who just display like, "I'm a female gamer," and they flaunt it in your face. That's really not helping at all, because it's like, yeah, I'm a girl, so what? Are you good at this game? That's the thing. Are you good at this game? If not, yeah, okay, you're a girl, so what?
Yeah. So I guess we could do a whole podcast on that, I imagine, on how people treat other people in games and all that. But let's go on to the next little tidbit that they had in the we'll call it a patch note. This one is swimming now only gives a skill up chance after swimming at least 20 meters. Now, this, I don't know if anyone's like, "Oh, okay, that's interesting," or not. But to me, it reminds me of Darkfall. In Darkfall, and I don't know if it's like this in Repopulation. Perhaps it is, because in Darkfall, if you swam, you built up endurance and muscle and all other stats that helped you fight. And some people had a tendency to set up macros and swim all night in a pond, or in the you didn't want to go out in the ocean because the sharks will get you. But if you could find yourself a little hidden area that's water, you could just set a macro and swim, and this would bring up all your stats and your endurance. So that makes me think that that's a preventative measure for that. So you can only go 20 meters, and then it clicks off, or maybe it's throttled. Do you think that might be what they're saying there, Nyrus? Or
I think they're trying to curb it with the word "chance" in there. So even if you do 20 meters, you're not guaranteed anything.
Yeah, so swimming won't be a quick way to leveling.
No, I don't really think so. I know they talked about having underwater combat and something, stuff like that. So maybe down the road, swimming might be a necessity. But out the gate, I don't believe that's going to be that much of that important.
So, Carrie, do you think, what's some of the past games you played, Carrie? Not to sidetrack our podcast, our show a little bit, but I'm kind of curious. What kind of games did you play in the past?
I started with RuneScape. I think a lot of people started with RuneScape, but that was a long time ago. I think the game that really got me into PvP was RF Online, Rising Force. If you know that one.
No.
Okay, probably not. Yeah.
No. Any of these games, did they have the basically if you did an action, you would increase some type of skill, or was it pretty much you kill something and you get points and you level?
Mostly the kill something sort.
Yeah. So that if you haven't played a game like that before, it's a lot different. There's no levels, and you just simply, if you swim apparently a little bit, you get a little bit of a buff, or not a buff, increase in your stats. And I think that's what they're talking about there. Let's see, what else did I put up here? They got improved speed hack detection. I think we talked about this earlier, Nairis, right? When we were just how do you think gaming companies actually test this? Do they go out and buy these speed hacks out there and test it against their systems, or do you think that they just go by some industry standard?
I have no idea.
Nairis? No, we might have lost Nairis there. As camera froze, I think. He's talking, but no words. Can you hear me, Nairis? Yeah, he can hear me. I think if Nairis was speaking, he would say, "Wolf, you're doing an excellent job, and you should be promoted."
What would you be promoted to?
That's a good question. Maybe your voice is not coming over. I don't know if you want to exit and come back in. And yeah, there you go. And we'll just chat here for a little bit until he comes back. So yeah, I'm always curious on how they check that. Like sometimes people, or companies will hire previously known hackers and crackers to come in their company and try and hack their system. They'll offer money sometimes. And I'm just wondering if they did something like that.
I am not very much up on the industry, but as I understand it, there are the white hat people and there are the black hat people. So you could say good guys and bad guys. And which one you are depends really on which one you want to be, but the skill set is more or less the same. And if you really want to know, I think the guys who do black hat, the ones who actively try to create hacks, create the game server and stuff, they're not really interested in legit work most of the time. They're more interested in like beating the system or beating the so-called big corporation or something like that.
Yep, I believe so. I guess where Nairis is working on his computer, we can look. We got. Yeah, for a second there, I heard you.
How about now?
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
But did you get hacked?
Yeah, I got speed hacked just then.
Man, those guys are on the ball.
That's right.
They're so on the ball that they managed to hack people on the game that hasn't even been released yet.
Yeah, well, it's like they heard the word hacked and a little alarm went off somewhere. Some reel-to-reel tape started rolling. Do you want to? I got Twitch up here. Let me switch over to that screen. That's not it. Here we go. There's our Twitch. We got some people in there talking. Yeah, there's a little bit of delay, I know, but do you guys have any questions? Feel free to throw them out there. I'll try and keep an eye out for them. Looks like there's Lectic and Fist. Lahira's there. Kells, a couple others. They're saying hi.
What's going on, everybody?
Well, let's see. Kells asks, what is the status of the game current? I would say it's probably an alpha.
I think he had just released that. He said they're in alpha phase 2 right now. They got to install their issue that they're resolving. Hopefully, he said by the end of next week.
Let's see. What else is going on there? Apparently, Lectic thinks that he's the most important because I said his name. Lectic. Kells asked, what are some of the bugs they're facing? Probably speed hacking would be my guess.
Yeah, they haven't released a lot of stuff as far as bugs. They've been talking a lot about really being under the gun to get to PAX Prime, which is, I believe, in 5 weeks. So to them, they're in panic mode to get something out there that's presentable for PAX Prime. Try to get the word out, I would say.
Well, let's come back to them here in a little bit. I'll go back to the other screen. Oh, what else was going on that I had going on? Oh yeah, I remember. Also in the patch notes, they had something about a new plant species called Morgenstein cactus, and it resembles a cactus. It can shoot intoxicating spines over a medium range, and the players are affected by these spines. They not only suffer damage over time, but also have their vision severely impacted momentarily by a cactus. So it's a mob. Apparently you can't. I assume it's not going to move, but if you get close to it, it's going to hit you and then damage you a little bit. But what I really thought was interesting is also I found in those patch notes it says a new type of poison is harvestable from that very same cacti or cactus. So, and I guess that kind of, to me, that kind of is like saying, like, here's this idea. Most games is like, oh yeah, like Minecraft. They have cactuses, and you go close to them, they get you, and you can make stuff out of that. So that's also an independent game. So I don't know if maybe those guys had that kind of thinking, but I like the idea of it's not just some hazard. You can actually harvest it and make something out of it.
Right.
And this poison probably has the same, I would assume, the same effect as the cactus would on you. And I guess that leads me into the crafting and the making of potions and whatnot. I guess I really haven't really looked into that. Do they have some type of crafting where they're going to you can make potions, health potions, stamina potions, that kind of same stuff? Do we know?
That I couldn't tell you. I'm sure there'll be some type of recipes that you can learn. Let's see.
Guess I should save that for when we have someone that's interested in the crafting.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a whole lot of information on that, to be honest with you.
Okay. Carrie, any viewpoints on cactuses poisoning?
I really hope they can harvest fish too, because as a diver, I am perfectly aware of exactly how dangerous some of those fish can be, and I would love it if we could have like fish based poison. Yeah, sorry.
That's fine. So
I
you're
get pretty excited talking about fish.
you're an actual for real diver?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I did not know that. Do they even have fishing in the game? Does anyone know that?
Well, they said they will be releasing like an underwater city or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. I think we could probably. What do you guys feel like? You want to take a short break and go to the halftime, or do you want to go into the next topic?
Doesn't matter. We can go right through if you want.
Okay. The next thing that I got pulled up here is a question that was in Ask the Devs number 12. And this question was, I noticed that gold $50 members can be mayors of cities, but only platinum $100 donation can start a nation. And his question is it possible for free-to-play silver, gold members to found a nation? And J.C. Smith says that the plan is to have each option also be available to be sold separately. So if you have no membership but wanted to create a nation, you could purchase that capability in the store individually. So what do you guys think about that? Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Honestly, I feel like that's walking the line of pay to win.
The ability to form a nation just by giving somebody some money.
Yeah.
But it's technically when you're a platinum member or a gold member, one of those two, or I guess a platinum member, it's $100 donation, and you can start a city, and apparently, if you give some, I wonder. I guess the question would be, how much money is it? I think what they're getting at there. Some people were concerned about, and he does go into this. There's more there that he wrote about that they didn't want just anybody to start forming nations and cities. They wanted to kind of throttle a little bit. But I don't know if that would be necessarily pay to win. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, sure. Depending on your definition of pay to win, of course.
Yes.
But how I normally think about such things is if you're paying for a privilege of some sort that isn't available to free-to-play, players, then that could be defined as pay to win under certain definitions.
I think you hit it on the nail on the head. There, that in that light could be could be considered that. Nyrus, what are you thinking about this?
I'm kind of reading more into the question and what J.C. Smith responded. I'm just trying to really understand what he's talking about, because I don't think any of that's going to be set in stone yet. It seems like they're avoiding, a definitive answer to that.
I pulled up information. I think it was from the frequently asked questions. Do I need to join a nation to build a city? And in there it said player-created cities are attached to the nation who owns the control center. So yes, there are, however, generic OWN and FPR nations which you will be automatically joined to when you create your character. You can leave those nations to form your own and join another if you see fit. And I guess I would just put that in there as kind of a reference to anyone who wasn't quite sure what a city or a nation might be. It doesn't really help in our curiosity here if it's a good thing to allow free to play people buy stuff.
His last statement, his last sentence in his statement, sums it right up, and I totally agree with it. He doesn't want a bunch of empty nations created by free-to-play players bogging down the system that are just going to be left vacant, and just clogging up the server. So I can understand where they want to have limitations on what's required to place a nation.
Yeah.
So I agree with that, I guess.
Yeah, and yet they don't want to say, all right, you got to give us, $100, and then you can have a nation. They kind of give the opportunity
Right.
to buy individually. And I think he's kind of implying there are other things you can buy. And let's face it, they're not doing this out of charity. They need to make some money somehow. So
Right.
the next thing I was just kind of looking for something to talk about because before the patch notes came out, I was really kind of skimming the forums there. So I went to the frequently asked question. They're talking about momentum, and I was like, "What is momentum?" And oddly enough, that's a FAQ. And momentum is a reflection on how well things are going for your character as positive events occur. You gain momentum. Period. I can read honest. You lose it when negative events occur. An example of a positive event would be landing a critical blow or being motivated by an ally. An example of a negative event would be having one of your allies die. So that's the definition of momentum. Can we equate that to anything? And I'll go into what it's used for here in a little bit. But can we equate that into any game that we played? What does that sound like to you guys?
Snowballing.
Snowballing? Please go on.
Yeah, like when you have a snowball on the top of a hill and you push it down and it just gets bigger and bigger. Yeah.
Momentum. So I am the snowball, and Nyrus is the sticks and leaves that get caught up in the snowball, slowing me down.
Let's go with that.
Okay.
What's happening here? Where am I?
What?
What just happened in this?
We're talking about snow in the middle of July, 4th of July.
It kind of reminds me going back to Ultima Online where you had to do good deeds to boost your title. And if you did negative deeds, you drop below all the way down to, oh boy, I don't even remember what it was. Dastardly and evil lord, the more negative that you did.
I wonder, actually I don't have to wonder because here it is here. What is momentum used for? Certain abilities require and often consume some of your momentum. These abilities are generally more powerful than regular abilities. Not all abilities require the same amount of momentum. However, you will need to make choices whether or not you should spend momentum quickly or mediocre abilities and save it up for more powerful ones. So it's all, to me it almost sounds like I cannot think of that game, but basically as you're attacking you build up this bar, and when that bar reaches full then you can do this special ability. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of games.
Yeah, it's just a different spin on it because
like Rage Bar or something.
Yeah, exactly. What game was that? Was that Age of Conan? Or something like that. But what struck me is that kind of threw me for a loop is that last part on what momentum is, and an example of a negative event would be having one of your allies die. Now, what do they mean by allies? People in my group, people in the raid group, if they have that, or DC is allied with some other clan, and well across the vastness of the regions, one of them dies. Is that going to affect me?
I would say more somebody in the group.
So we're all interconnected. I guess that's kind of the theme of repopulation.
because we don't know how allies are gonna, guild wide is gonna be played out yet. So that having a group would be my guess as well.
Well, let me kick it over to the halftime show. And by the way, people on Twitch and anyone listening to this broadcast, if you have an idea for the halftime show, please contact me on the forums or email me at wolf216@gmail.com and let me know what your idea is, and I will try and do it. So it's about Carrie, so you know, it's about this one's about 4 or 5 minutes. Feel free to get a drink or whatever. Your mic will still be open, and so if you talk, it'll come over. So we want to try and keep quiet through this, or you can talk if you want. And if you're watching on Twitch, and if you want to hear the sound of it, you probably will have to mute your microphones locally here on stream. So let's go to the halftime show, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes.
Look at me, look at me, look at me.
You got it.
Suck. This is the main. Don't always look at this to put a dick in your mouth. Why? I actually have a heart on right now. Show it. It's over there. It's over there. It's over there. It's over there. What are you doing now? We have a twit. We have a twit. Owner and owner and Let me think about it. Matt roll. Hey guys, I had a thought, hey, I'm thinking. Why?
we're back. I think they're just finishing up watching the rest of that, and they'll be back as well. I swear, you know, I never really had a problem getting Rick rolled because I really like that song, but trying to edit Khan's head on that was a pain in the butt. I mean, seriously. And by the time I got done, I'm like, I so hate this song. Let's see what Twitch people are doing. So, how'd you guys like that? Was it stupid or was it okay?
I have no comments.
No comments? Did you ever get Rick rolled?
My sister sings it at us.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Yeah, I guess so. Con rolled, that's right. So obviously I was running low on things to do, and we were experimenting with Skype, and Khan's camera got stuck, and all that stuff you're hearing in the background was, you know, comments we're making. We were having a good old time watching Khan's head bob back and forth. I suppose he should be lucky that I'm not very good with graphics, because there was one suggestion Nyrus had in adding into that video that I probably would have done had I had any skills with graphics. But we would have had to probably put a 18 or older warning at the beginning of this podcast.
They should all be that.
Yeah, I suppose. What do you guys want to do? You want to end it here, or do you want to like kind of?
We do a few more questions. There's a lot of people that have questions, I guess.
Okay.
I'll read through some of those.
Yeah, maybe just scroll up there and see. Can
My chat's not loading up correctly, so I can't view it.
you can switch over to. Nope, that's not gonna work. You got the web browser up on the patch notes if we want to look at those as well. And Fist, I see that you're in there, Fist. I'm calling you out right now.
Yeah.
I want some more content.
There's a scumbag.
Yeah, so I need you to come out and talk to us. In fact, go ahead and type your phone number in right now, and we'll call you. So, excuse me. So what's going on in the clan? Anything, Iris?
Right now, it's pretty quiet. Everyone's still kind of spread out game-wise, so which is a good thing. It keeps everybody together.
Yeah.
We get some stragglers, team speak every once in a while. A couple of new names coming back. I noticed Slother came back, so that's good.
Yeah. Which games you playing? Anything?
I was doing Dragon's Prophet for a little while, but right now I have not been on there in a few days.
How about you, Carrie? What you playing any games?
League of Legends mostly.
You know, I just cannot get into that game. I can't understand it. I'm horrible at it, which is no big surprise, I suppose, but it's just real difficult for me to maneuver and work it. But
Yeah, when I got into this game for the first time, I kept on left clicking because left click was the movement button in pretty much every other game, and in this one is right click.
Well, that would be confusing. If in Twitch you got any questions, feel free to type them in there. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the game. You could ask about the clan, I suppose, or anything.
Does anybody have an actual question right now?
Let's see.
Oh, there's one there.
I think it's Fist. Could there be a way to build a Council of Nations? That's an interesting thought. AKA resource sink, yeah. Momentum in Darkfall Online was used to fight jump shooting. I think Council of Nations, is he? I wonder if he's referring to like, all right, there's a bunch of nations in Repopulation. Ahead of those nations, like a president or whatever. I know. I suspect if we were to ask them that, they're going to say, "Well, this is something that the players can decide upon and make."
Right. I mean, that's a good question. I like that. I wonder if that would be an option in the guild menu, as far as, you know, dealing with alliances.
I was going to ask this earlier, Carrie.
Yeah.
What? Just to kind of give us a little summary. And I'm just curious. How did you get into DC? How did you get approached? I'm just
I
wondering.
actually posted in the looking for the nations thread, and then Hardware sent me a PM.
Oh yeah. So you were interested in the game, and Hardware contacted you. That's kind of neat. And what'd you do? Like take a look at our forums, see if we're kind of weird or people you'd want to play with.
I actually, the forums, the website, just whatever was public access at the time. And based on that, I started asking Hardware questions based on the kind of environment that the guild was going to create, more or less.
Well, that's very good, because that's exactly what I did back a long time ago. It was before I even joined DC, and it was probably the first clan I ever got in, or maybe second, I can't remember. But in any case, I asked questions about them. I said, well, what about this? What do you guys do this? It seems that people, when they join a clan, they don't ask these kind of questions, and they figure it out later. And Nyrus, I know as far as DC, we all kind of just joined in, but did you have any other clan that you joined a long time ago that you jumped into?
Ultima Online being my first MMO, I played that game with real life friends that I had that I worked with at the time. So when we first started the game, I was in a guild called, I think it was the Brotherhood of Thunder. And then I went from there. They stopped playing the game. I continued, and that's when I came across DC. And that's when I joined. So that was 98.
So I would think that anyone that's interested in joining any clan, not just DC, they'd want to get to know them better. And every major clan or guild has some type of process that they go through, because they're trying to find out if they're a good fit for them or us, however you want to look at it.
All right.
But I think someone who's interested in joining should also check it out. Go on the forums, ask questions, is like Kiri did there.
Absolutely.
Yep. I don't know. Do you want to check out some of the patch notes? You got anything you want to talk about before we end the show?
No.
No.
Right.
Kiri, got any comments?
Not right now, no.
Not right now. All right. Just so you know, because you might not be familiar, what I'm going to do is I'll go to the end of DC. It's a little bit of music, and it'll be over in probably about 30 seconds, and I'll end the broadcast. And we'll go back and review. We'll chat a little bit with some people on Twitch. Before I go, I just want to remind everybody that you can always find us at www.durmanhothclan.com. And you guys might want to clear the date for July 13th, 2013. That's a Saturday. It's 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm not going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, but on a live broadcast here with us, we're going to have a very special someone. And you're definitely going to want to be there to listen and watch and ask questions, much like we're doing here tonight. And I'll just leave it at that. I'll give you a little bit more on the next show. And so good night, guys. Thank you very much for coming, and thanks, Twitch people.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for listening to DC's AV podcast.